Every man gets this wrong. You text her paragraphs while she sends you 3 words. You're always available when she calls, but she takes hours to respond. You're planning your future together while she's still deciding if she likes you. And then you wonder why she doesn't value you, why she takes you for granted, why she treats you like an option instead of a priority. Let me teach you something that changed everything for thousands of men I've counseled. The only way to make someone value you is to become genuinely valuable. And the only way to make them fear losing you is to show them you're perfectly fine without them. Here's the fundamental principle most men don't understand: reciprocal communication dynamics. You need to mirror her investment level, not exceed it. If she takes 3 hours to text back, you take 3 hours. If she writes 2 sentences, you write 2 sentences. If she cancels plans, you become less available. This isn't playing games, it's emotional calibration based on actual interest levels. I had a client who was texting this woman novels every day while she replied with lol and yeah. He was confused why she seemed distant. I told him to match her energy exactly. Send short responses, take your time, focus on your life. Within 2 weeks, she was asking why he seemed different. Was everything okay? Could they meet up to talk? She suddenly cared because he stopped over-caring. The emotional calibration process is like tuning an instrument. You observe her frequency and match it. She calls once a week. You call once a week. She suggests meeting up twice a month? Perfect, that's your frequency too. This isn't punishment or manipulation, it's accurately reading someone's actual interest level and responding accordingly. Most men project their own excitement onto women who aren't nearly as invested. You meet someone, you're instantly planning the wedding while she's still deciding if she wants a second date. This imbalance creates the exact dynamic that kills attraction. Nobody values what comes too easily. Nobody fears losing what's desperately clinging to them. The balance of power in relationships isn't about domination, it's about equilibrium. When you overinvest emotionally, you create an imbalance that naturally leads to being undervalued. Think about it. If someone's giving you everything while asking for nothing, why would you work for their approval? You already have it unconditionally. A client learned this the hard way. His girlfriend would cancel dates last minute, show up late, barely engage in conversations. But he kept showing up, kept being understanding, kept giving 100%. One day, he just matched her energy, cancelled a date himself, showed up late once, kept conversations brief. Suddenly she's asking if he's losing interest, suggesting couples therapy, fighting to keep him. The positive reinforcement in attraction works subconsciously. When you're slightly less available than she expects, her brain registers you as valuable. When you end conversations first, she's left wanting more. When you have genuine other priorities, she realizes she needs to compete for your attention. This isn't manipulation, it's how human psychology actually works. Here's what avoiding neediness looks like in practice. She mentions she's not ready for anything serious. Perfect, neither are you. She says she wants to take things slow. You were thinking the same thing. She's dating other people? Cool, you're keeping your options open too. Never be more committed than she is. Never push for more than she's offering. Let her drive the escalation. I watch men destroy potential relationships by having the talk too early. 3 dates in and they're asking, where is this going? 2 weeks of texting and they want exclusivity. This pressure kills attraction faster than anything else. Women need to feel like commitment was their idea, that they won you over, that they earned your exclusivity. The strategic withdrawal principle is powerful. Always be the first to end the phone call occasionally. Hey, I need to run, but this was great. Leave the date while it's still fun. I've got an early morning, but I had an amazing time. End the text conversation at a high point. This creates what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect. Unfinished experiences stick in our minds longer. A guy I counselled was always the last to leave every interaction. His girlfriend would literally fall asleep on the phone with him still talking. I told him to flip it, end every interaction 10 minutes before he wanted to. Within a month, she was asking to spend more time together, calling him more, actually engaged in conversations because she knew they wouldn't last forever. Scarcity as influence isn't about playing hard to get. It's about actually being hard to get because your life is full. When you have genuine responsibilities, real hobbies, actual friends, your time becomes scarce naturally. You're not pretending to be busy, You are busy. This authentic scarcity is what creates value, not fake unavailability. The clarity instead of manipulation approach is what separates this from toxic game playing. You're not lying about being busy when you're sitting at home. You're not pretending to have other options when you don't. You're genuinely building a life so full that adding someone to it requires them to earn their place. This is honest, not manipulative. The importance of self-discipline cannot be overstated. Every fibre of your being wants to text her back immediately, to always be available, to shower her with attention. But discipline means controlling these impulses, thinking strategically, acting from logic, not emotion. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do in relationships, but also the most effective. I tell men this all the time. The moment you can walk away is the moment she'll chase. Not as a threat, not as manipulation, but as genuine reality. When you truly don't need her validation, when you're genuinely okay alone, when you actually have other options, that's when you become magnetic. People want what they might lose, not what they're guaranteed to keep. The value of time and productivity changes everything. When you spend your Saturday building something, learning something, creating something, your time has weight. When she asks to see you and you say, "I can do Thursday evening or Sunday afternoon," those time slots feel valuable because they actually are. You're not playing pretend, you're genuinely busy building a life. A client transformed his relationship by transforming his schedule. Instead of always being free when she called, he started training for a marathon, joined a martial arts gym, started a side business. Suddenly, his availability was actually limited. His girlfriend went from taking him for granted to planning dates weeks in advance to secure his time. Self-respect through lifestyle management is the foundation. You can't fake having a life. You can't pretend to be interesting. You have to actually become the person whose time is valuable. This means having goals beyond her, projects beyond the relationship, dreams that existed before she showed up and will exist if she leaves. The choice and abundance mindset shifts everything. When you know you could date other people, you stop acting desperate. When you have options, you stop tolerating disrespect. When you understand your value in the dating market, you stop underselling yourself. This isn't arrogance, it's accurate self-assessment. Here's a practical exercise. Go on dates with multiple people, not to be a player, but to understand you have options. When you're talking to 3 or 4 people, you naturally stop over-investing in any single one. You respond when convenient, you suggest dates that work for your schedule, you maintain perspective. This is training for abundance mentality. Maintaining emotional independence is crucial. The moment she becomes your only source of happiness, you've already lost. Your emotional state should come from your accomplishments, your growth, your relationships with friends and family. She should enhance your life, not be your life. Addition, not completion. I see men abandon everything for women constantly. They stop seeing friends, quit hobbies, ignore career goals. 6 months later, they're shells of themselves, wondering why she lost attraction. She fell for the man who had a life, not the man who made her his life. The very thing that attracted her is what you destroyed trying to keep her. The dangers of emotional overinvestment are real. When you make someone your everything, you become nothing. Your identity dissolves into the relationship. Your mood depends on her mood. Your day is good or bad based on her attention. This isn't love, it's codependency, and it's repulsive to emotionally healthy people. A client discovered this after his 3rd relationship followed the same pattern. Meet girl, abandon everything for girl, girl loses interest, relationship dies. I made him commit to maintaining his life no matter what. Gym stays consistent, friends stay priority, career stays focused. His current relationship? 2 years strong because he never stopped being the man she fell for. The need for personal purpose beyond romance is non-negotiable. Men are built to have missions, to build things, to solve problems. When your only mission becomes keeping her happy, you've betrayed your nature. You need something you're working toward that has nothing to do with her. A business, a body, a skill, a cause. Something that demands your focus. I tell men to imagine she left tomorrow. What would you do with your time? If the answer is I don't know, you've already lost. Your purpose should be so clear that losing her would be painful but wouldn't stop your progress. Your mission continues with or without her. This is what makes you attractive. having direction that doesn't depend on her presence. Internal balance as foundation for external success is the key. You can't have a healthy relationship from an unhealthy position. If you're needy, desperate, purposeless, no technique will help. But when you're genuinely fulfilled, genuinely busy, genuinely growing, the relationship dynamics naturally balance because you won't accept imbalance. The avoiding rescue complexes point is vital. Some men make fixing broken women their mission. They meet someone with problems and think, "I'll save her." This isn't love, it's ego. You're not her therapist, her father, or her savior. You're supposed to be her partner. The moment you make her problems your purpose, you've lost both your way and eventually her respect. A guy came to me after his fourth relationship with a project woman failed, always dating women who needed fixing, then wondering why they left once they got stable. I told him the truth. He was using their problems to avoid facing his own. Easier to fix her than fix himself. Once he worked on his own issues, he started attracting healthy partners. The emphasis on emotional maturity changes the game. This isn't about being cold or distant, it's about being rationally attached rather than emotionally dependent. You care, but you don't crumble. You invest, but you don't overinvest. You love, but you don't lose yourself. This maturity is what separates boys from men in relationships. Here's how to practice emotional calibration. Start with response times. If she typically takes an hour to respond, you take 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Not exactly, that's robotic, but in the same range. This shows you have a life while still being responsive. You're matching her investment level, not playing games. The conversation depth should also match. If she's giving you surface level chat, don't pour your heart out. If she's opening up emotionally, you can too, but never more than she does. Think of it like tennis, you return the ball with similar force. She hits it soft, you hit it soft. She hits it hard, you can hit it hard. Physical availability needs the same calibration. If she wants to see you once a week, perfect. Don't push for more. If she suggests meeting more often, you can agree, but maintain some scarcity. I'd love to see you Friday, but I've got plans. How about Saturday? You're interested, but not desperately available. The key to making her fear losing you isn't making threats or playing games. It's becoming someone worth losing. When you have your own life, your own goals, your own value, the fear of loss happens naturally. She realizes that if she doesn't treat you well, you have other options. Not because you said so, but because it's obviously true. I had a client whose girlfriend took him for granted for years. He tried everything. Talks, therapy, ultimatums. Nothing worked. Then he just started living. Joined a boxing gym, started a business, reconnected with friends. Didn't threaten to leave, didn't issue warnings. Within 3 months, she was asking what she could do to make him happy. The fear of loss only works when the loss would actually happen. The practical implementation starts tomorrow morning. Wake up with purpose that isn't her. Have a schedule that isn't built around her availability. Have conversations that aren't about her. Have goals that don't include her. This isn't neglect, it's balance. She should be important, but not everything. Create genuine scarcity by having genuine commitments. Monday is gym, non-negotiable. Tuesday is work project, focused. Wednesday you might be free. Thursday is friends, planned weeks ago. Friday could work. This isn't fake, this is actually having a life. When you say you're busy, you actually are. The testing phase is interesting. When you start implementing these principles, she'll test you. She'll suddenly want more attention just when you're giving less. She'll create drama to pull you back into old patterns. Hold steady. Pass these tests by maintaining your frame, and attraction skyrockets. A client experienced this dramatically. Started setting boundaries, focusing on his life. His girlfriend accused him of not caring, threatened to leave, created drama. He stayed calm, maintained his schedule, didn't chase. 2 weeks later, she apologized and asked what she could do to be a better girlfriend. The test was just to see if his change was real. The abundance mentality practice is essential. Go to social events, join clubs, take classes. Not to meet women necessarily, but to remember that you can. When you're surrounded by options, you stop pedestalizing one person. This isn't about cheating or being disloyal, it's about remembering your value. The internal metrics for success aren't about her behavior, they're about yours. Are you maintaining your gym routine? Are you progressing in your career? Are you seeing friends regularly? Are you growing as a person? If yes, the relationship will either improve or reveal itself as wrong for you. Either way, you win. The The frame control during conflicts is where this really matters. When she's emotional, you stay calm. When she's dramatic, you're steady. When she threatens to leave, you say, "I don't want that, but I understand if that's what you need to do." This isn't coldness, it's emotional maturity. It shows you'll be fine either way. I watched a relationship completely transform using just this principle. Guy's girlfriend would threaten breakup during every argument. He'd always panic, beg, negotiate. One day, he just said, "Okay, if that's what you think is best." She was shocked. Suddenly, the breakup threats stopped. The power of being willing to lose is that you usually don't. The mission-focused mindset is what holds everything together. Your mission might be building a business, mastering a skill, raising your children, contributing to a cause. Whatever it is, it needs to matter more than any woman's approval. When you have a mission, you have direction. When you have direction, you have value. The daily practices that build value are simple but not easy. Wake up early, exercise, work on your purpose, learn something new, connect with male friends, pursue a hobby, create something. Do this consistently, and you won't need to pretend to be busy or valuable. You actually will be. The relationship reframe is crucial. Stop thinking, "How do I keep her?" Start thinking, "Is she adding value to my already valuable life?" Stop asking, "What does she want?" Start asking, "What do I want?" This isn't selfishness, it's self-respect. And self-respect is attractive. The emotional regulation during her cycles is important. Women have emotional waves. Sometimes they're super into you, sometimes distant. Most men panic during the distant phases and smother during the close phases. Instead, maintain steady energy regardless. Be the stable point she can orbit around. A practical example. She's being cold this week. Taking forever to respond, seems disinterested. Most men would double their efforts, ask what's wrong, try to fix it. Instead, you match her energy. Focus on your life. Stay pleasant but not needy. Usually she cycles back to warmth naturally, and now she appreciates your stability. The investment timeline should be gradual and mutual. She invests a little, you invest a little. She opens up more, you open up more. She suggests exclusivity, you consider it. Always let her be slightly ahead in pushing for commitment. This makes it her choice, her victory, her relationship to protect. The outcome independence is what makes this work. You want her, but don't need her. You enjoy the relationship, but don't require it. You're investing, but not attached to results. This paradox, caring without clinging, is what creates both attraction and respect. The practical boundaries you need are clear. Your gym time is sacred. Your work goals are non-negotiable. Your friendships are maintained. Your family relationships are prioritized. She fits into your life. Your life doesn't reorganize around her. This isn't mean, it's mature. The psychological shift from scarcity to abundance fundamentally changes how you show up in relationships. When you operate from scarcity, every text feels crucial, every date feels like an audition, every disagreement feels like a threat. But when you operate from abundance, knowing you have options, value, and completeness without her, you naturally become more attractive because desperation evaporates. Consider how this plays out in real scenarios. She mentions her ex. Instead of jealousy and 20 questions, you're genuinely unbothered because you know your worth. She needs space? Perfect. You have projects to focus on. She wants to slow things down. Great, you weren't rushing anyway. This authentic non-neediness can't be faked. It comes from genuinely having a life worth protecting. The compound effect of maintaining your mission is extraordinary. 6 months of consistent gym attendance doesn't just improve your body, it builds discipline that she recognizes. A year of building your business doesn't just increase income, it demonstrates ambition that attracts. Every book you read, skill you develop, connection you strengthen adds to an overall value that makes loss genuinely consequential. I'll leave you with this truth. The only way to make someone value you is to be valuable, and the only way to be valuable is to value yourself. This means having standards, boundaries, goals, and self-respect. When you genuinely don't need her validation, you'll finally get her respect. The transformation isn't about becoming an asshole or playing games. It's about becoming a man with purpose, direction, and options. When you have a life worth living, people want to be part of it. When you don't need someone to complete you, You become someone worth competing with. Stop trying to make her fear losing you through threats or manipulation. Instead, become someone she'd genuinely regret losing. Build the business, get the physique, develop the skills, create the lifestyle, pursue the mission. When loss would actually matter because you actually matter, fear of loss takes care of itself. The biggest mistake men make is trying to secure a woman through excessive investment. But security doesn't create attraction. Challenge does. Value does. Purpose does. When you become genuinely valuable and show you're perfectly fine without her, that's when she realizes she's not fine without you. This isn't a technique or a trick. It's a complete reframe of how you approach relationships. You're not trying to win her. You're seeing if she qualifies for your valuable time. You're not afraid of losing her. You're evaluating if she's worth keeping. This shift in perspective changes everything. Remember, she fell for who you were when she met you, not who you became trying to keep her. Maintain your frame, maintain your life, maintain your mission. The right woman will value this and work to be part of it. The wrong woman will reveal herself by expecting you to abandon yourself for her. The ultimate goal isn't to make her fear losing you. It's to become someone who doesn't fear loss because you're complete either way. When you reach that point, relationships become additions to an already great life, rather than desperate attempts to fill a void. Start tomorrow. Schedule your week with your priorities first, her second. Respond to text when convenient, not immediately. Suggest dates that work for your life, not hers. Have conversations about your interests, not just hers. This isn't being difficult, it's being balanced. The man who values himself is valued by others. The man who respects his time has his time respected. The man who maintains his mission attracts those who respect missions. Become that man, and you won't need to make anyone fear losing you. They'll fear it naturally because they'll recognize what they have. I want to hear from you guys. What happened when you stopped overinvesting and started valuing yourself? How did the dynamic shift when you developed genuine abundance? When did she start fearing loss? When you threatened to leave or when you genuinely didn't need her? Drop your experiences below. Let's help other men understand that the only way to be valued is to be valuable.